Hello, Dull Bedsit blogger here, and I'm sitting in the jungles of Brighton at the moment. To be honest, today I am a little bit excitable, but I've got to keep quiet about that. I don't want to hex my excitable news. I will let you know once it comes, and definitely happens. But please keep your fingers crossed for me, please, all of you. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, and whatever, because this is quite exciting. But I can't say at the moment. Anyway, on with today's video. And WYSIWYG Nutty Joe, she asked me if I could do my top 5 festivals, because she knows I go to a festival, and that's good. This year I'm working at Sunrise Festival and Glastonbury, and I'm planning to go to Burning Man Festival. Hopefully that should be more in action by the end of this week, in fact tomorrow. I hope I haven't left it too late. Oh, fingers crossed. So let's get on with my list. So, the first festival on my list is the Reading Festival. Now, probably a lot of people, a lot of festival purists will be going, yes, that festival. I've got fond memories of Reading because it was my first ever festival. I went to see the Pogues, and I think it was the day before I was 18. I only went for one day with a friend and had a great time there, and it was sort of kind of like, wow, this festival stuff is good fun. And then I went for a few years running after that, which is good, and had great fun. Saw some great bands, had great hijinks and shits and giggles. Next on my list is the granddaddy or grandmummy of them all, or the British ones, Glastonbury. I remember going to my first one. I think it was the year before the police were officially allowed on site, and it was bonkers. It was like nothing I'd ever been to before or since. The raves, the music kept going all the time for the whole time we were there, and it was just a crazy experience. And you know, it has got more corporate now, but then there was that year when everyone decided to come and raid the fence, and it just got bananas. So then they built the big fence all around it, and it's kind of taken the chaos craziness out of it. You don't get as many people walking around selling hash fudge. You know, but you know, you don't need all that to have fun at a festival. It is such a great festival. You don't have to go for music. You could spend all your time in the theatre field if you like and still have a great time. I'm really chuffed that I've got a pretty good job there working on the climbing frame. It's a great fun job, and I get to hang out with some marvellous people. Change of angle and a change of batteries later. I'm back. Right. So, next festival is all Tomorows Parties. Yeah, I'm not sure a lot of people strictly call it a festival. They're kind of more curated events, but they kind of got that festival, lots of different stuff, seeing stuff you wouldn't expect to see. I've been to a couple of all Tomorrow's Parties. I went to one at Canberra Sands, which is pretty mental. I got to see Sunno, Lightning Bolt there, The Fall, Peaches. A crazy time was had there. And I also went to one in UCLA, which was headlined by by Aphex Twin, but the highlight of the show was seeing Mersbow. It was just jaw-dropping, Mersbow. It was on a large sound system, 3/4 of an hour of white noise, and it's just like everyone was sitting there at the end, like the sound just washing over us. Fantastic. I don't think I'd ever get a chance to see that. You know, I've seen noise stuff, but it's normally been in fairly small venues, but this is in, you know, University of LA, in a massive auditorium with a huge sound system. Fantastic. The Big Green Gathering. I worked at the Big Green Gathering for about 5 or 6 years in the teen space. It was a very good festival, a little bit worthy. Last year I went to Secret Garden Festival, which really reminded me of the Big Green Gathering. It was kind of, it had everything that the Big Green Gathering wanted to be, but because the Big Green Gathering had a green agenda, it was never able to be that hedonistic and that much of a party thing. But there was always, it had little hidden areas. It was kind of a small festival, and there was always the Traveller Field, which was a law to its own. And that'd run the sound systems all night, and it was a bit crazy and a bit woo, but the rest of it was so fluffy and so lovely. And another reason I kind of like Big Green Gathering is kind of it's how I got to meet or know of Slaxer. The last Big Green Gathering got cancelled at the last moment, and Slaxer did a Slaxer rant about it, and I found it online when I was looking up to find out what had happened, and I thought, this looks an interesting guy, and I'm right, he is an interesting guy. So the 5th festival is going to be another little cheeky one. I don't know if it's still, I think it still happens, but it's one in America called the Wilmington Exchange Fest, or WeFest as it's also known. I used to write to quite a lot of people. I was quite into writing random letters and exchanging tapes and all that sort of kind of stuff, fanzines and things like that. And I wrote off to this guy in America, Mr. Lee Buffalo, and he was saying, oh yeah, I'm involved in organising this festival, why don't you come to it? So I did, and the WeFest, it costs $15 to go to it, and it's a week of gigs every night. Now the twist is, you can only perform once at this festival, and all the bands must be kind of self-published, run their own record label kind of thing. It's all very DIY, but it's not only bands, it's films, fanzines, poets, artists, and it's all about being self-financed and self-publicising, and it's a really great little festival, kind of very, very punk rock in its DIY ethic. I had a great time at that festival. I went in 1999, and I have some great memories of it. There is some video of it somewhere, but it's stuck on sort of like some weird format of tape or something, so haven't actually got to see those videos. A friend and I drove around Wilmington, North Carolina, which is a town it's the town they filmed Dawson's Creek in, and we got to meet some fantastic people there. I got to see some great bands and drink some great beer. and just have a silly dumbass time. And that's it for today. Bye bye.